everyone. I am Marcia Braundy. I have lived in the Slocan Valley for going on 48 years. I was British Columbia's first Red Seal construction carpenter in 1981 after a 4.5-year apprenticeship. I got my start as a volunteer building the Vallican Whole Community Centre for the Rural Alternatives Research and Training Society, RARTS. The building still stands today, 48 years after a bunch of hippies under the magnificent tutelage of a master carpenter, Max Davis, built by hand a 44-foot square concrete foundation for an Opportunities for Youth project to teach urban people rural skills. Eric Clough designed the original building, but only the foundation was built due to lack of capital expenditure capacity in the first year of OFY funding. The foundation was dug by the workers trading their work for somebody who had a cat that would come in and push the dirt around. And then they poured all the concrete by hand, pouring it by 2 concrete mixers that they had going, and pouring the concrete into wheelbarrows and wheeling the wheelbarrows up onto the formwork and dumping it into the concrete foundation. The principle of the project worked well, and many men and women went off to build their houses, to build their homes and lives in the Slocan Valley. Once we decided to put a building on that foundation, and that was in 1973. The foundation went in 1971, and in 73 I was the person who was there every day organizing the volunteer crews. First we built the model, then we built the building. We would meet once a week with folks who had more skills than the rest of us, often Joel Harris and architect Al Uthmers, who designed the new building for 4 cords of firewood. They drew the next week's work on the back of pieces of 2x10s, and I would identify the skill level of our volunteers and dole out the jobs for the day and the week. When I started, I had never built anything but a bookcase I had to nail to the wall because it wouldn't stand up. I'm a quick study, and I decided to take up carpentry as my career. The Vallican Whole Community Centre, as it came to be known, because originally it was the Vallican HOLE, because that concrete foundation stood there and sat there for 2 years. But then it became known as the Vallican Whole WHOLE Community Center. It's had 3 major renovations since then, thanks to the wonderful people of the RARTS board over the years. All the volunteers, the women, the men, and the children, many children built this building. And folks like Sally McKenzie, who ran youth crews funded by Employment Immigration Canada back in the day, and Tamara Smith, who was a genius for fundraising, and myself, who has a skill for getting materials donated. The most recent energy and accessibility retrofit has helped us to again realize the amazingly beautiful setting that we are, with the finest acoustics and the best sprung dance floor in the Kootenays. There are many more stories to be told, and they will wait for a memoir. My memory can always be twigged by the close to 1,000 photos and videos that I have taken of folks who had worked on the building over all these many years, many of whom appear on the DVD of the Vallican Whole slideshow. The Vallican Whole has been host to many different kinds of events, meetings, weddings, food preparation workshops, and rural skills workshops, as well as dances and theater and musical events of all kinds, among many other things. I have photographed and videotaped a great deal of these events, which will appear on some other YouTube channel in the future. Meanwhile, the Vallican Whole Community Centre has also been a venue for some of the wonderful Slocan Valley Storytelling events, the videos of which you will find here on these YouTube channels.